Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. Today we're installing a sump pump in a crawl space, a little bit of footer tiles as well. You can see we've already started our pit. Got Paul digging on the pit over here, kind of dark here. Right by the footer wall, we're going to install our sump pump and sump pit. And then we'll drill right through that wall to bring it outside. We're also going to have to cut, there's a little slurry of concrete they've poured on the entrance of the crawl space. We're going to cut that, put a footer tile. This pipe is our sewer line. We're just going to put a little footer tile right across here over to our sump pit. Out here on the outside, we're going to be hooking up 3 downspouts, one right here on the corner. You can see another one here at the porch, this front porch, and then all the way at the beginning of the house there's another one. We have to cut that walk, go through the walk, run that trencher all the way down. We'll put in new pipe, discharge it just out here by this tree because it's downhill dramatically right there. So first thing we do is we start hand digging from the downspouts. Over here where Chuck's at, there's a water line, so we've got to be really careful. And when you go and call your utilities, the only thing that they don't mark is the water line. So we've got to be really careful. But we call this, a feed, a lateral. That's going to come out here to the main trench. And we'll do that on each one of these downspouts. Do the same thing over here, where he's just got it splashed out. Just bring that line straight out. We'll have a main trench right here. You can see our concrete saw, because we've got to cut this walk. So let's get started.
We're using a ditch witch model 1030. You can rent one of these at your local tool rental, might be Home Depot or United. There's several, Sunbelt, for less than $100 a day. Actually, if you take it in 4 hours, probably only $60 or $70. Makes real quick work of trenching a straight line and really nice and deep.
Okay, you can see that we stopped with the machine because right in here there's a water line, so we have to hand dig across this section. Water line's probably only about 14 inches deep. It's not very deep. Let's see how they're doing in the crawl space. So down here in the crawl space, Paul made real quick work of this pit. Probably only took him 15 minutes. Nice job. And you can see it's right here in the corner. We're right by the door, right by the opening. And we'll set our sump pump up here in a second. We're going to drill right through the wall, right through here, and bring it outside. We also have a little bit of concrete to cut right here over to the sewer line, and we'll put a footer tile in there. So we may put one this way also. You can see Paul with a pick. Just bring it back here to this pier, just a few feet, to help pick up that water.
Yeah, now we're going ahead and cutting the sidewalk, and we're doing this without any water, so you can see it's quite dusty. We have a brand new blade on there, so it should work really well. Now, finally, we're trenching from that downspout where the sidewalk was just cut. Giant tree roots there, and the trencher does a great job of cutting straight through those roots.
Okay, so we've got our line pretty much trenched. Still got the machine running. Clean out the corners. Clean out this trench. Derek's already starting that. Guys are taking a little break. We're ready to hook up this downspout drain. It's just discharging right here at the end. So the guys are outside here while I'm in the crawl space. They're going ahead and covering this pipe. Looking good. We got it all hooked up. You can see where we went through the sidewalk. Hook up to the first downspout. Comes out. All one pipe. This is corrugated material. Comes in a 100-foot roll. Real simple to install. Perfect for the homeowner. Connection T comes over to the downspout. Going to make another cut down here, put another T on it. That's what they're working on right now. Pushed it right up against that downspout. Throw a little dirt on there just to hold it in place. Then you can make your cuts down here for your T and your T connection. Okay, so here's our downspout complete. put a patch across the sidewalk there, some just real quick concrete. Comes down the line, you can see it's all mounded up. This is all going to settle, so when you put your soil back, remember to leave it a little bit high because it will go down. If you take too much away, you're going to have a big old low spot right here. So now we're getting ready to core the foundation wall. And as soon as he's comfortable there, it takes a little bit to get started, but it'll go right through there. You can see we've got a nice perfect hole right through the brick. 2-inch drill bit on our Bosch, 2-inch drill bit, diamond core. It goes right through, hammer drill. Okay, so now we're going to set up our Zoller M53. No special tools really required. Pump comes in a nice box, warranty card, extension cord.
No, it's not at the end. You got about this much room for this.
First thing that we're going to do is put in our male threaded 1.5" adapter. It just screws in place. It's kind of cold out here, so things are a little slow to get started. Just good and hand tight for right now. Next thing that we're going to do is cut a piece of pipe just to get above this bar. This is just a protection bar of the float. Float kicks your pump on and off. You can make a measurement if you need to. But basically you just want to get above the pipe, or above that bar. So I just make a little measurement. 1.5" pipe, good hacksaw. Cuts right through it.
Yeah, for both of them.
Next we're going to put some glue on here. This is an Oatly product, medium bond, real strong glue. Once we glue this, it won't come apart. Line up your pipe, make sure that end was clean, which I did. Push it on there, twist it, hold it. It's set. It has now welded. Next we're going to put a check valve on here, and the check valve allows water to flow only one direction. And probably can't see it, but there's an arrow that tells you the direction. Inside there's a little flapper up and down. When the pump kicks on, water pushes this flapper open. When the pump kicks off, that flapper shuts. So no water can go back down through and spin the pump backwards. Again, it's a little chilly out here, so these rubber no-hubs are kind of tight, but they'll go on there. Then we use our handy dandy drill, tighten everything up. Make sure you're in the right groove. There's little grooves here for these clamps. They go right in the right spot there. So let's tighten up all the clamps. This is a 5/16 inch driver. That's what size clamp it is right here. Good drill, nice and tight. We're ready to go inside and plumb the sump pump. Finally, on the outside, you can see we drilled the hole. We just pushed a piece of 1.5" pipe. You can see it fits right. Our discharge is right there. That's where we cored the foundation, and you can see the 1.5" fits right through there. It's a perfect fit. It's 2-inch hole, outer diameter, exactly 2 inches. Slides through. We'll go inside and take a look. Okay, so we're ready to set up our Zoller M53 down into the sump pit. But before we do that, so you know how we found this measurement. What we do is up here at the vent, we count the number of blocks over, which was actually 1 block over, right down the center. And then we counted the number of blocks down, which was 7. That's how we found that measurement outside. Real simple to do, but it's important. Put your pit in first. That way you know exactly where that's going to come up and out through the wall. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a measurement from our sump pump right here, our little Zoller M53. We're going to set that down into the pit. And we want to get a measurement. Usually I use my saw just to get close. Looks like I need a couple of saw lengths here, and then we'll cut it again. So, yeah, you can use a tape measure if you want, but this works pretty good. All I want to do is get close, and then we'll fit it, and I'm putting it into the no-hub right now. Remember, it's cold, so it's tight. Then we'll use our 1.5" 90, just temporarily set it on there, pull it through. Now we can make a measurement to where the to where the pipe meets the fitting. Remember that you measure to the inside of the coupling. So we want it to go, you can see we've got play. We want it to be pretty tight. So let's go right here. We'll make that measurement. We'll cut that off. And we should be ready to glue this together. Remember, a good hacksaw is the key. Good sharp blade. I put a blade on there every week because we use it quite often. Now let's make another measurement just to make sure we got it correct. We do. So now, take our handy dandy drill, and I'm going to tighten up the no-hub on the pump, which is down inside the pit, so that it's good and tight. Good and tight. And we're ready to glue this pipe right up to our discharge line. Setting up our pump so we know exactly where it is. Go ahead and pull your fittings off. I like to work from the top down, so I'm going to start at the top. Good amount of glue. Push it on there and hold. Remember that we can twist this pipe to get it on here. It's going to be tight. I might have to move the pump again. Looks like we do. So now we're ready to glue up the riser. Remember, we've got a check valve on the pump. Keeps that water from going back. Good amount of glue. We're just going to push down on the fitting on that no-hub, and then we're going to push it in place. There it goes. Push and hold for just a few seconds, and that is welded together. Now I can move my pump around so that we're good and square. Perfect. So this is ready to go ahead and bring our gravel in, put it around the outside of the pit. Remember, we perforated the pit so that water can get into that pit. We've also got some footer tiles right here, and I'm going to show you that also. But before we do that, let's go outside. We've got to plumb that down the wall and let it discharge outside. Okay, so out here on the outside, what we want to do is we want to put a 90 and another 90 right here, just to let it splash out the outside. So we're just going to make a measurement. I usually get it a little bit away from the wall. Remember, I can pull it through the wall to make a really good fit. So this will be the discharge. We set this up underneath. Use my saw for my measurement from the inside of the coupling to the inside of this coupling. Now we're ready to stick our bottom two pieces on there. We're going to glue those up. Just push and hold, and there you have it. Okay, so we've got our sump pump installed, our Zoller M53. Okay, so we've got our sump pump installed, Zoller M53. Riser comes up, goes through the wall. What we've done is we added a little bit of footer tile. That's the black pipe, perforated pipe that comes into the pit. Now we're just going to go ahead and pour some gravel to cover that up, and we're done. Gerald, we go out and get the lid. Pull it backwards. There you go. Cool. So we try not to get gravel in the pit, but sometimes a little bit drops in there. That won't hurt anything. Just keep on pouring it out. Remember, gravel by the bag. It works really good. Real simple for homeowners to do. Just pour it and just keep on pouring another bag. This only took about 5 bags to do. Real simple job. Once we put the lid on here, this will be nice and secure. Then we'll plug it in and it'll pump all the water out of here whenever it rains. Okay, so here's our completed install. You can see our pit, riser. Remember, there's an M53 down in the pit, and it has a check valve. We've got a solid lid, goes up, cord the foundation wall, pipe goes outside. Just a little bit of gravel perforated pipe here. We call these footer tiles. You can see the gravel. Same thing on the other side. That just helps the water get into the pit. Now we're just going to kind of clean up this area right here. This was a concrete pad, so we had to break that, and we're just going to clean the area up, make it look a little bit nicer, but we're all done. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day. Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. Today we're going to be installing a sump pump in a crawl space. We always like to put a little bit of gravel around our sump pit. That helps promote the drainage. So we're here early this morning at Lowe's, and we've got our gravel by the bag. 40-pound bags, about $3 a bag. Pretty simple job. Homeowner can do this themselves. Let's go get some pipe. So we're here at Lowe's. We've got our pipe and our rock. Gravel by the bag. We're going to grab a few tees over here and a few other fittings. Head to the job site. But again, this is a job that homeowner could do themselves. Lowe's is a great place to come get your materials, reasonably priced. We'll probably spend, my guess is about $150 here, maybe more. We've got to get some concrete too.
All right, so as Chuck told you, you could come to Lowe's and purchase these items yourself. Right now, your subtotal before tax would be $109.60. It's probably a lot better than you would had you hired someone. So think about it.
Yeah, I can't believe it's only $109. Let's see. Now, see, it's $117.
$117 after tax. You gotta pay almost the same.
That's not bad, you guys. Seriously, do-it-yourself projects. Lowe's is a great place to come get your materials. Home Depot is okay too, but Lowe's carries a lot more drainage material, and that's why we shop here.